Hey everybody, it's Allie, and today I tried out the Yensa Beauty Tone Up Primer and the BC Foundation. I have never heard of this company. I looked into it a little bit and it seemed pretty good as far as the promises that it's claiming to make. I did receive these in an Ipsy bag and I thought, why not put it to the test? So I have both of these products here. I have the Yensa Tone Up Primer Essential Glow, and I have the Yensa Skin on Skin BC Foundation. Personally, I've never heard of this brand, but I figured I'd try it out because I have the primer and the foundation, and they're supposed to work well together. On their website, the Skin on Skin BC Foundation, the full size version, goes for $38. Obviously, this is a little sample size. And the Tone Up Primer, full size, goes for $35. The Tone Up Primer, it says, it's a perfect first step to achieving your superfood glow. Infused with 8 super powered skin loving ingredients to help minimize the appearance of pores, fine lines, and wrinkles. The lightweight satin sheen formula creates an invisible skin perfecting finish. Worn alone or under makeup, no one will know you are wearing it. So I was trying to research a little bit. The products are supposed to be infused with superfoods that are supposed to help the texture of your skin, the overall, I guess, health and well-being of your skin. It's supposed to even and brighten skin tone. It gives a natural radiant finish, blurs imperfections, enhances and prolongs foundation wear. It's 5 o'clock, so I'm not going to be doing like a long wear test. I don't think. If I can do a check-in, I will. 8 Super Black Essence contain black sesame oil, black seaweed, black tea, shiitake mushroom, black rice, Korean black raspberry, nettle, and chia seed. Oh wow. So the primer itself has like a little tint to it, it looks like. Let's put that on. All right, so I worked in the primer on this side. Don't mind the imperfections. I might use a little bit more. I don't want to use too much, but... Okay, so I just applied the primer now, and it does say to let it sit for 15 seconds. So while that's sitting for a little bit, I do want to talk a little bit about the brand because I, again, have never heard of them. And there is a video, I'll leave a link to that if you want to take a look. So the founder of it is Jennifer Yen. She's an actress. I had to honestly look her up. Okay, so she's from the Power Rangers, but Jennifer Yen is the founder. She's an actress. She also spoke about wanting to start a beauty line that was full coverage, but also nourishing to the skin. She also mentions the fact that she wants it to be inclusive to all ethnicities, which I think is absolutely amazing. So she talks about her culture and ingredients used and passed down from generation to generation, and she wants it to be inclusive to everybody. Their BC foundation also has SPF in it, which I think is really great. It's called the Skin on Skin BC Foundation. I do have it in medium warm. It's supposed to be full coverage, has SPF, a graceful aging moisturizer, built-in concealer, provides brighter and even skin tone, helps minimize the appearance of pores, nourishes food, and blurs. Now, the thing that's interesting, she did speak about it being inclusive to all, but I'm looking at the shades. So, I mean, I think you can see. I think there could be a little bit more range in there, correct? So, there are 11 shades. Okay, there's a little variety within those 11 shades from what I'm seeing, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, let's put some of this on. So a little bit runny. I'm gonna do half my face with the sponge, half with the brush, and we'll see how it goes. And obviously, I think I am a good candidate to see how much coverage a foundation has with these lovely blemishes. You can definitely smell like those, what smells like botanicals. To me, it smells very like spa-like, very natural, I would say. So not like chemical smells, definitely like floral type of smells. This side is with the sponge. This is my Hank and Henry sponge. That actually covered really nicely. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I don't have the concealer to test out, but that actually did a decent job. And that was with the sponge. Generally, I feel like you get better coverage with brushes because the sponge tends to soak up a little bit of product, but not bad. I'm gonna use this type of foundation brush on this side. So you've covered that up nicely. And I feel like the color match, actually, the color shade, I think it's a nice match for me. Oh wow, I'm actually like pleasantly surprised. Okay, I'm gonna switch brushes. I'm using this brush. I just feel like this is a little bit more time efficient for me. It's already late. So you see, that's covered really nicely. I think you guys can see that. I have these blemishes, these really dark marks, and it covered it really, really nicely. Okay. And that's just one layer. For me, I feel like, especially with those dark blemishes that I have, I usually need 2 layers to get that coverage, but that actually did a really nice job. I'm actually very impressed. Very impressed because it feels super lightweight on the skin. I feel like the coverage was great. It does not feel heavy at all. This is only 1 layer. Personally, I can see my pores. I have rather large pores though. And I do still see like my wrinkles, my fine lines. I don't necessarily see that blurring effect that they're talking about, but everything else is pretty good. It's actually very nice. It feels very like velvety on the skin actually. I'm gonna finish up the rest of the makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and finished up my makeup. I'm also racing the clock right now because the sun is setting. The rest of my makeup applied absolutely beautifully on top of it, in my opinion. I definitely want to see how it wears. I'm bummed that I couldn't do this earlier to give it like a full day wear test. Try to check in with you later, but as far as now, it's really, really nice. I mean, I've only had it on for a half hour. So I don't know if you could tell with the lighting, but I do see like my smile lines. I do still see my fine lines and my wrinkles. I don't know if it's this lighting and because I'm like dissecting everything, but I definitely see my pores and my fine lines. So as far as blurring, I don't know how much of that I believe, but the rest of it looks really nice. The coverage was definitely there, but it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel cakey. When I went and took a look at myself in the mirror in a different room, it looked really, really nice. It didn't look dry. It didn't look oily. It looked like a very velvety finish, but I have a feeling that it might possibly look like a hot mess by the end of the night. So I'm going to try my best to check in at least by the end of the night. But if not, I think this is nice. I don't know how long wearing it's going to be just off of what I'm seeing now. But the coverage was there. It feels very nice. And the rest of my makeup applied beautifully. So I also like the fact that there's SPF in there. Pretty good. I also realized I didn't fill in my brows. But that's okay, because where am I going? I'm making dinner right now. But that's it. If the lighting's off, if the audio is off, it's because I'm in the bathroom. I don't feel like setting up my lighting and all that. It is 10:30 at night, so I've had this foundation on for 5 hours or so. Honestly, guys, I'm actually very pleasantly surprised by this foundation. The coverage was really good, and remember, I only did 1 layer, which I had to remind myself of. It covered up these blemishes. Now, you know, it's been on for a while. So you can see, I actually thought that I was going to look like an oily mess by the end of the day, but I actually feel like, if anything, it kind of looks on the drier side, which I was surprised at, but I'm not mad at that because I guess you can just use, you know, an illuminating setting spray or a dewy setting spray or something. I mean, the smile lines are not great, like the fine lines and everything. It claimed to reduce the appearance of that, but I don't agree with that. I feel like this smile line is like super prominent right now, and it normally is not that bad, I'd like to say. But so the fine lines, you can definitely see it. You can still see the texture and everything, but it feels really light on the skin, especially for the amount of coverage that it gave. I didn't notice any oxidation. I've also I've rubbed my face. I've done my whole nightly routine with my children. So it's time for it to come off. But overall, I'm pleasantly surprised. There are a few things that I would want to change. especially the shade range, for a company that's claiming to be like very inclusive for all ethnicities. I feel like the shade range could be better. As far as the primer and foundation, they seem to work really well together. I want to see how they work alone, but I think together it does look pretty good. I'm curious as to why I haven't really heard much about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you've tried this foundation or the primer or both. Another thing, as far as a brand claiming to be for all ethnicities and inclusive and things like that, I think this shade range kinda is not the best. I don't know. I think that's something that could be worked on. Otherwise, I think it's overall a nice product. Be sure to subscribe if you aren't subscribed already, and be sure to stay happy, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.